to defend and to serve the emperor. It was one of the maximum honors. You didn't get greater respect than on foot through the streets coming from a samurai-owned family. Rick Harrison misplaced everything in an immediate one. In all, his maximum dependable personnel turned into sentenced to existence, and his pawn empire lay in ruins. His save, once an image of success, now drowns in lawsuits and possible loss of life and betrayals. The very last stab came from his own mom, accusing him of deceiving her while she recovered from a coma, and while Chumlee obtained his very last sentence, the whole thing collapsed. Tune in due to the fact this is the brutal stop of an empire, a legend shattered earlier than our eyes. The Pawn Stars. Empire crumbles. Pawn Stars wasn't a few lucky ruin, Rick, and his father Richard constructed it from the ground up. Richard become as sharp as they came, a non-nonsense man who knew the game better than all of us. Whilst he passed in 2018, the store lost extra than its founder. It lost its backbone. Rick attempted to maintain things rolling, however. Trouble was already lurking inside the shadows. Looking ahead to the proper second to strike, however, then a buried mystery surfaced, geared up to tear the entirety apart, going for walks. A pawn keep in Vegas became by no means easy. Every day become a grind, slender, earnings past due, payments and clients who brought in extra issues than valuables. However, Rick had a secret weapon. Storytelling. He knew humans were not just buying objects, they had been buying records. A bit of something bigger. That's what made Pawn Stars a success. The atypical rare items, the wild backstories, all of it clicked. 12-month-old child developing up in Utah who declared to the sector that he had a exquisite grain and had a lot of these schemes to make money. Then came the TV deal in 2009. No person noticed it coming. However, overnight, Rick, his son Corey, and their goofy sidekick Chumlee have become family names. It turned into gold till it wasn't. Fame has a manner of twisting matters. Lawsuits piled up, own family feuds exploded. The behind-the-curtain chaos have become not possible to ignore via 2022. The cracks inside the empire have been showing, and then came the biggest blow. Rick's own mother dragged him to courtroom, claiming he tricked her into signing away her percentage of the shop while she turned into getting better from a 220 coma. She demanded a full accounting of $500,000 greenbacks, or even attempted to block him from selling off assets the own family that once stood collectively turned into now tearing itself apart in public. As if that wasn't enough, the pandemic hit like a freight. Educate what used to herald millions barely scraped via with 3700 in a 12-month, after which there was Chumlee on display screen. He changed into the lovable goofball off screen. He was a magnet for disaster. In 2016, police raided his residence and determined enough substance and guns to 53 him with multiple felonies. The assault expenses didn't stick, however. His reputation turned into within the gutter. He dodged prison with a plea deal, however. Pawn Stars could never be the same, after which got here Corey reckless as ever in 2020. He rented an RV for a wild desert experience, trashed it, and then refused to pay for the damages. Complaints accompanied extra embarrassment, extra gas for the hearth. Even the so-known as professionals were not secure from scandal. The display's toy specialist got hit with domestic violence, cost the sports memorabilia $325. Man busted for fraud. I did love making a living. I did understand that if you went to the swap meet and you could kept on searching out silver spoons, stuff like that. In case you get those real cheap, my brother had a fake ID. He should sell them at the pawn. Keep Pawn Stars wasn't just losing credibility, it turned into becoming a sluggish movement. Teach Smash, the show, began feeling off. The once spontaneous offers now felt scripted. The negotiations seemed faux. The magic become long gone. And Rick, he becomes scrambling. He attempted expanding his 357 Empire with Pawn Plaza, a retail complex close to the store, but that tanked. Proceedings observed commercial enterprise offers fell apart inside the Empire. He spent years constructing, started out slipping through his fingers, however. The most important betrayal become nonetheless waiting. The fact behind Rick's downfall wasn't just horrific success, it become private family money greed. It changed into all coming to a head, and while the final curtain fell, Pawn Stars wouldn't be remembered for its rare finds or million-dollar offers. It'd be remembered because the empire that crumbled from the inside out as Rick, 32, attempted to salvage what was left. The pawn store became a battleground. Deals that used to return easy had been now a warfare. Sellers walked in questioning they had treasure, best to be met with brutal fact tests. A person as soon as arrived with what he claimed became an ancient war medal, watching for a providence, but after a few professional verification, it grew to become out to be a cheap duplicate. The look of defeat on his face became something Rick had visible too often later. Creditors still got herein. However, the strength had modified a girl, delivered in a vintage 5.5 Civil War sword, convinced it would fetch lots after a few digging. Rick observed it wasn't as rare as she idea. She walked out upset, a not unusual theme these days. Another supplier came in with an antique Rolex. However, it turned into a Frankenstein watch made from mismatched parts. The provide became a fragment of what he expected: more horrific blood, more anxiety. Pawn Stars had come to be a shadow of its former self. The once thriving keep felt like a sinking boat. Deliver, the court cases, the betrayals, the scandals, all of it took a toll. Rick had 542, turned into a multitude A overall nightmare. The headlines were anywhere and the display's reputation took a success. However, for Rick it wasn't approximately the cameras, it become personal. He had watched Chi grow from a clueless young kid into someone who, no matter his antics, became part of the own family now. It seemed like that own family was falling aside. Through all of it, the store saved walking customers, nevertheless got here. 1742, in offers have been nonetheless made, but Rick felt like he was looking his own existence from a distance. The pawn keep that had as soon as been his delight and pleasure now felt hollow. He had constructed something extraordinary, something that had as soon as been approximately ardor and talent. Now it changed into a traveler, lure, a shadow of what it was. Rick's notion about walking away, promoting the store, leaving all of it behind, maybe beginning clean, somewhere new, far from the cameras, the expectations, the chaos. However, every time he considered it, something stopped him. Maybe it turned into his 1816 father's legacy. Maybe it become sheer stubbornness. Or maybe deep down he still believed there was a way to bring returned what have been lost, nevertheless. The details of his existence persevered to unravel, stretching beyond simply enterprise. The weight of loss was no longer just a brief burden, but an everlasting shift in the way he noticed the whole thing. He located himself on foot, the flooring of the store overdue at night, observing old items that after carried that means, thinking if he had misplaced something deeper than just a business, questioning if he had misplaced himself. In the procedure, the 1849 experience of loss stretched beyond the shop. It had emerged as personal. The relationships that had once made the business unique had fractured beneath the weight of fame and personal tragedy. Rick located himself wondering if he had misplaced now not just an enterprise but the very sense of cause that had driven him. For goodbye, the pawn save had given him a cause to wake up each morning, but now he wasn't sure what he was waking up for anymore. Is the gold and silver pawn shop nonetheless a commercial enterprise, or just a ghost of its past? Allow us to recognize what you think and remember. 1921 to like and subscribe for greater surprising tales. Somewhere new, far from the cameras, the expectations, the chaos. However, every time he considered it, something stopped him. Maybe it turned into his 1816 father's legacy. Maybe it become sheer stubbornness, or maybe deep down he still believed there was a way to bring returned what have been lost. Nevertheless, the details of his existence persevered to unravel, stretching beyond simply enterprise. The weight of loss was no longer just a brief burden, but an everlasting shift in the way he noticed the whole thing. He located himself on foot, the flooring of the store, overdue at night, observing old items that after carried that means, thinking if he had misplaced something deeper than just a business, questioning if he had misplaced himself. In the procedure, the 1849 experience of loss stretched beyond the shop. It had emerged as personal. The relationships that had once made the business unique had fractured beneath the weight of fame and personal tragedy. Rick located himself, wondering if he had misplaced now not just an enterprise, but the very sense of cause that had driven him. For goodbye, the pawn safe had given him a cause to wake up each morning, but now he wasn't sure what he was waking up for anymore. Is the gold silver pawn shop nonetheless a commercial enterprise or just a ghost of its past? Allow us to recognize what you think and remember 1921. To like and subscribe for greater surprising tales.